MGM Resorts expects to have cut about 1,000 jobs by June. MGM, and this is in the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and this is by Richard N. Voloda. MGM Resorts International executives said Monday they'll continue to focus on a cost-cutting initiative that is putting hundreds in the unemployment line. Chief Financial Officer Corey Sanders said in an earnings call the company expects it will have cut about 1,000 jobs by June, including the 254 announced last week, and that 35 executives have taken voluntary retirement as part of its MGM 2020 plan. The initiative is aimed at leveraging a more centralized organization to maximize profitability and lay the groundwork for a digital transformation that is expected to improve cash flow by $300 million a year by 2021. Revenue was flat and cash flow dipped by 10% on the Strip for the quarter that ended March 31st, but the Las Vegas-based company reported 12.6% more revenue in this year's first quarter than in 2018 and improved results in Macau and at the company's regional properties. While the results failed to meet analysts' expectations, executives fielding questions Monday said the best is yet to come for the company. MGM Chairman and CEO Jim Murren said the company's regional properties performed well during the quarter, with MGM Detroit and MGM National Harbor in Maryland reporting increases in cash flow. He also noticed that MGM Springfield, the Western Massachusetts property that opened last summer, Park MGM in Las Vegas, and MGM Cotai, and Macau continue to ramp up their respective customer bases after grand openings or major upgrades. Murren also noted that during the quarter, the company received an extension to its Macau subconcession to June 2022, placing it in line with other operators in the Chinese enclave. Let's see here. With the return of Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars later in the year, 2019 is looking outstanding, Murren said in remarks to analysts. Murren said demand continued to run high in Las Vegas and non-gaming revenue grew by 4% over the first quarter of 2018. By property, cash flow was higher in the quarter this year compared with the first quarter of 2018 at the Mirage, Excalibur, Park MGM, and Circus Circus, with other properties in MGM's Las Vegas portfolio showing declines. Let's keep going. You can see revenue, net income, all of that. The point is that while Jim Murren is raking in the bucks left and right, pulling in those bucks, hosting high-dollar fundraisers for Joe Biden, he's laying off about 1,000 workers who are most likely low income, who weren't getting paid correctly, weren't getting paid enough in the first place, and all of that. But since he's the chairman and CEO, he gets to live the high life. He gets to host high-dollar fundraisers for Joe Biden. There's more. Also in attendance is Nevada attorney J. Randall Jones, who was caught up in a scandal in 2013 of donating $50,000 to Senator Harry Reid. Senator Harry Reid's Senate Super PAC, while Reid was considering Jones as a law partner for a federal judgeship. Here we have AboveTheLaw.com, The High Price of the Federal Bench by Joe Patrice. A minor scandal brewing in Las Vegas highlights the festering problem of campaign finance laws and federal judgeships. This was in May 7th, 2013. A minor scandal is brewing in Las Vegas, in a city known for its impeccable ethics and strictly above-board dealings. I don't think that's quite the case. The legal community is astir over suggestions that a nominee to the federal bench earned her nomination by engineering a windfall for her political sponsor, Senator Harry Reid, with conveniently timed donations from her law partners. At what point does sucking up to politicians cross into the appearance of impropriety for prospective federal judges, and how much do the rest of us care? The immediate controversy surrounds Jenn Dize, currently awaiting confirmation to the District of Nevada bench. Roughly 6 months before her nomination by President Obama, and shortly after she spoke with Reid's campaign committee about the possibility of her nomination, Jenn Dize donated $2,500 to Reid's campaign. A month later, the campaign returned the money to Dize. That seems responsible. However, like a bad infomercial, but wait, there's more. The records show a partner in Dize's firm, Will Kemp, made a $100,000 donation reported May 1, 2012, to Senate Majority PAC, established by former strategist Senator Harry Reid, Democrat Nevada, to help Democratic Senate candidates. Another partner, and this is the guy who is one of the hosts of the fundraiser Joe Biden attended last night in Nevada, donated $50,000 to the PAC, reported on May 14, 2012. The donations came as Reid was considering Dize for a judgeship. The state's senior senator sent his recommendation to the White House in June, and President Barack Obama nominated Dize in September. And that isn't counting the additional $31,000 given to Senator Reid directly or to the Democratic Party of Nevada. There's nothing really illegal about two lawyers giving that much to a super PAC. The amounts are bigger than the two had ever given before. But then again, they had just won a $182 million judgment against Teva Pharmaceutical, so they had a lot more to give last cycle. So there you go, these high-powered, high-profit, wealthy people that Joe Biden surrounds himself with. But broken down, Reid's allies get paid in May. He makes a recommendation in June. Dize is nominated in September. Curious. That certainly looks like a payoff. And the involvement of the terminally slimy Harry Reid only exacerbates the queasiness one could feel about this nomination. Maybe there was no connection between the contributions and Dize's nomination, but so far, no one on the Senate Judiciary Committee has seen fit to even explore the issue. You get the picture by now. These people are slimy. These people are extremely wealthy. They're not the people of the United States, and that is who Joe Biden is supposed to be appealing to. If he actually wants to win, the right way, he has to get out of the old way of thinking. Those days are gone. The days where you can rake in corporate PAC money, which he's doing through his own PAC, American Possibilities, it's over. The people don't want that. The people see through that. And Bernie Sanders, I believe, opened up people's eyes. And people don't want Joe Biden. If he does happen to win the Democratic primary, I think that there's a very, very strong chance that Trump will become president again. He'll have a second term. We can't have Joe Biden winning. And with the way he's conducting himself, I hope that the people who are on his side, those apparent 40% of voters, see through this, that they open their eyes and do their research and pay attention to the people who are reporting this like status quo. Let's go back to Jordan's Twitter, or the Twitter, as he would say. And Jordan says, seems like it worked, referring to Randall Jones paying in all that money. POTUS 44. So Obama nominated Jones's law partner, Jenn Dize, to the bench in September 2012. So let's recap. Joe Biden is currently eating stale hors d'oeuvres with 1. Former U.S. Attorney, GOP state senator, reprimanded for sexual discrimination and retaliation. 2. Greedy MGM CEO cutting 1,000 workers while making $15 million a year. And 3. Big Nevada attorney caught up in pay-for-play scandal. None of that is good. None of that should be happening. Joe Biden should not be attending these fundraisers. He's totally oblivious to the politics of today. And speaking of today is Wednesday, and I believe it's May 8th. It is indeed May 8th. And Joe Biden is attending another fundraiser tonight, this time in California, and it's actually going to be picketed. So let's read about that. This is in HuffPo by Dave Jamieson. Union plans picket of Joe Biden fundraiser hosted by Kaiser board member. So remember, this is a separate fundraiser. This one's happening today. The other one happened last night. So the National Union of Healthcare Workers is battling the healthcare provider over mental health staffing. Former Vice President Joe Biden may consider himself a union man, but one California union won't be giving him a warm welcome this week. The National Union of Healthcare Workers plans to hold an informational picket line outside a Biden fundraiser slated for Wednesday in Los Angeles, according to Sal Roselli, the union's president. The fundraiser is to be held at the home of a director of the Kaiser Foundation, which operates hospitals as a subsidiary of Kaiser Permanente. NUHW is locked in a bitter, years-long fight with Kaiser over mental health staffing levels in the healthcare provider's California facilities. Therapists waged a statewide 5-day strike in December and a 1-day work stoppage in Pasadena last month. Roselli told HuffPost his union first reached out to Biden last week about the fundraiser to be hosted by Dr. Cynthia Tellis, a UCLA School of Medicine faculty member who sits on Kaiser's board. According to an invitation, contribution levels for the event range from $250 per person to $2,800, which is the maximum contribution for the presidential primary allowed under election law. Roselli said the union has not heard back from the campaign. He should take our side in this dispute, Roselli said. I think he should walk. He should cancel it. Neither the Biden camp nor Tellis immediately responded to requests for comment. The NUHW represents 3,500 psychologists and other workers at Kaiser facilities. The union has long alleged that Kaiser understaffs its mental health clinics, leading to long waits for vulnerable patients. The union has demanded that Kaiser hire more therapists and put pay and benefits on par with other employees in medical care. It doesn't matter what a patient's situation is, one therapist told USC Annenberg Media in April. They could be struggling with parenting. They could be going through bereavement. They could have a bipolar disorder. They're still going to have to wait 3 months. The tiff over the California fundraiser is another sign of the trouble Biden may run into with the progressive left as he works his donor network. The former Veep kicked off his campaign with a show of union support last week, winning the endorsement of the International Association of Firefighters and speaking at Teamsters Town Hall in Pennsylvania. But as HuffPost reported, the early Democratic frontrunner is bound to have a harder time rounding up the support of progressive unions uneasy with his centrist track record and corporate ties. Some of his top opponents are already using that line of attack. Senator Elizabeth Warren criticized Biden last week, describing him as a friend to credit card companies. Meanwhile, the campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders took a shot at Biden for holding a fundraiser at the home of a Comcast executive. Roselli, whose union endorsed Sanders in the 2016 election, argued that Biden shouldn't take money from Kaiser executives or board members until the healthcare provider resolves the dispute with the union amicably. I think he should step up and get a commitment, Roselli said. So what do you think the chances are of him stepping up and getting a commitment? What do you think the chances are of him going with the union versus going with high-dollar donors that sit on the board of Kaiser? The chances aren't very good, are they? So we will continue to keep an eye out on Joe Biden and his fundraisers, where his money is coming from, the people he's surrounding himself with, and a whole lot more. Biden is a disaster. He must not win the Democratic primary, and the way he's going, I don't think the people will vote him in. But according to the polling, which is at 40%, it means that people who want someone like Bernie Sanders to win need to work a heck of a lot harder and really focus in on that grassroots support. A lot of people are volunteers there are text campaigns, there are phone banking campaigns, there's canvassing, things like that. A lot of people do those things for Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Mike Gravel, Kamala Harris, if that's your thing. So for whatever candidate that you are for, and honestly, hopefully after you see what's going on with Joe Biden, you're probably not going to be for him unless you're too a centrist. Go for it, Go for whichever candidate you want, and go for that candidate full force, because our democracy is at stake. We can't have Trump win again, and having a centrist in office is definitely the way to have Trump win again. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.